Hey everybody, this is Benny, and today we're going to dive back into my new character series, which was put on hold back in March of 2025. This will be episode 10 in that series, as well as episode 4 of my mission playthrough series. It's a little confusing, but I started it, now I just got to stick with it. I wasn't really sure if I would continue this all since the last couple episodes I didn't get a ton of views, but I've had a number of you reach out and ask for more, so I'm going to give it at least another episode and see if there's enough interest in this to continue the series. First off, if you're new to this series, I recommend starting off with the first episode, which I've linked down in the description below. Now let's start out with a quick update. My last video in this series was about 8 months ago. At that time, I was facing an impending double lung transplant. A long story, but if you want to know more, you can look at my channel page under the post section where I kind of kept everybody up to date as I went through everything. I did get that double lung transplant, and I am recovering really well. The lungs are great. My initial cancer is still in remission, so I'm doing great that way. I have had some problems with my sternum not healing correctly, so they've had to go in a couple different times now. The last time just about 2 weeks ago, and try to keep fixing because they had to cut my sternum in order to, put in the new lungs. So it's been an ongoing issue trying to get that straightened out, but I think I think they got it this time. Everything seems solid. And then the other thing that happened last episode, in episode 9, I was having some major computer issues, and I did finally bite the bullet and I upgraded. So now all of my computer components are up to date. I'm not going to say it's top of the line stuff. Needless to say, a lung transplant is an expensive thing. I don't have a ton of money to dump into my rig, but I did modernize everything, which it's needed for some time. So if you're interested in my computer stats, they are down in the description as well. And then lastly, there's been a ton of updates to the game, and completely keeping up with the game's updates would be a monumental task for anybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to point out any changes that have happened since last time as I come across them. If and when I notice them. So feel free to comment below if I miss anything, or if you see something that you think is noteworthy, or if you have any tips or tricks. Those are always great. Put your tips and tricks down in the comments below. People love to read those, and I certainly love to learn them when I get some new stuff. So when we left off, we had just about finished the stone base here. All that's really left to do is to finish replacing the wood pillars with stone. There's some of them here and there. So here's a wood pillar here that should be replaced with stone. And there's going to be a few more here and there. And now that we have all this space, it'll be time to start adding and upgrading benches as well, and adding additional storage space. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see what's available compared to what we have. Looks like we got some talent points first. So we've got 3 talent points to spend. I'm going to take a look at what talents are available, and then I'll get back to you and let you know what I took. Okay, so what I've decided to do was dump those points that I had available into firearms. So I've maxed out these 2 items here, which is light firearm handling for pistols. And I guess I didn't max that out. I had 1 point left. Dang it. And then I maxed out the light firearm power up. So I'm doing 10% more damage. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it does add up. I'm doing 15% reload speed. I already had this, but this is a 20% crafted pistol and SMG ammo resource cost. That does really add up when you're cranking out mass ammunition later on. I also took 1 point in gun runner, which is going to give me that 5% movement speed with firearms equipped. I will go to I'll go to the 10% in that at some point too, and just it makes it so much easier to move around the map. All right, the next thing I did was I went into solo, and I took the next level of Healthy Maverick, which boosts me up from plus 50 maximum health to plus 100 maximum health. All right, now if we're looking at the tech tree, so I glanced through the tech tree and I don't necessarily see anything that I need to take right this moment. Tier 1, I'm kind of past tier 1 at the moment. I might come back here if I need something specific. like the seed extractor. This is kind of a newer thing where you can't just get seeds anymore. Now you have to use an extractor to get seeds, and or have a special sickle for harvesting. But we'll come back to that when we need the seeds. For now, we're going to come in here to tier 2, and we're going to look and see what we could possibly use in tier 2. The level 20 starts to become one of those things. If you see down here, these are level 20. Level 20 starts to become this thing that is going to impede us from moving forward. So what we need to do is we need to consider, is there anything we need right this moment, or do we want to save our points for once we hit level 20? Now, I'm kind of leaning towards saving those points until I hit level 20. So I don't think there's anything I absolutely need in here. I don't wear armor that often. They did change it now so that you get an entire set of armor instead of having to take each individual piece. Nice. So I can unlock the leather armor, and we could make that. Beehive is available. Although, until you get the other components of the beehive, it's kind of limited. I mean, you can hand process all that stuff, but I usually don't bother until I can get the extractor for it, so that I'm automatically turning honeycomb into wax and honey. That kind of is where it starts to make sense. We have the ranching station for pets, so that's something we can take at this point. The carved wood furniture pack, which would give us a good bed. So those are kind of the things that are available to us at the moment, and I'm not sure. I think maybe the wood furniture set is going to be okay, or the wooden bed, but I think the carved wooden bed has got the better sleep buff. Fishing bench. Fishing is a great way to. Fish traps are a great way to make to get food, because I love any system that's going to work for me without me having to do anything, and fish traps are one of those things. Let's see here. So I think that kind of answers the question. I think we're going to save most of our points. We've got 7 points available. We're going to save most of those points for after we hit level 20. And we're level 18 now, so we don't have a long way to go before we hit level 20. I am going to pick up the fishing bench, which is going to get me then basic fishing crap. I'm going to take this set here. I guess I'm using more stuff than I thought. But okay, we're going to take this set here so we can get the better buff. The wood sign is great for organization, so you can just organize your storage containers. Now, I'm going to build and set up storage containers off camera, because I'm sure you're not interested in watching me sit there and grind away at making containers and setting them up against the walls and stuff like that. I'll get all that stuff done off camera, and if I do the next episode, which I'm leaning towards, if I do that next episode, then you'll see where all the new storage came in. All right, that's all I'm going to do for now. And oh, look at this! I'm going to die while I'm sitting there playing. I'm going to drink some playing with the blueprint menu. I keep forgetting I don't have a water and food slot, which I'm just so used to carrying around water and food slots on my suit. You know, they have suits that have all three, and that's what I prefer. Right now, I've got this one. Got one. Is this just this? This means it's a stock suit now. Just didn't used to. I don't think it used to have a description. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, getting dark in here, and we don't have a ton of lights. So I guess that's something we need to work on too. Is getting some torches up in here, or some other. Well, we don't have electricity, so that's going to be the light source, or brazier. I don't think I unlocked those. Okay, now did I build a carpentry bench? That's a good question. And I don't know that I did. What we got here? Got a cooking station, crafting bench. I did unlock it, but I never built one, apparently. All right, let's go take care of that. So what do we need for carpentry bench? I'm going to need copper nails. That's what I'm going to need from here on out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and crank out some more copper nails. And of course, we're going to need copper soon. So, all right, let's go ahead and grab these nails. Got some iron nails in here too. I'm going to take and transfer those iron nails over. And drop all this in here, and then it'll be in here when I need it. Now, I don't need I don't know why I've got so many sticks in here. Seems a little much, right? I think I was just using it for storage. It's been a while. All right, let's look and see what we've got. Oh my goodness, 120 copper nails. I'm gonna need to go and see if we got enough. Okay, so I don't have enough copper. I am 8 short, 8 copper nails short. I don't think I have any anywhere else. Doesn't look like it. So it looks like we're going to be doing some mining. I'm going to have to go in, find a mine location. Generally, resources in caves don't respawn without the thumper. But this map has been reset because of updates. So I'm guessing the nearby cave is going to have resources respawned in it. And that's going to be like right, I think it's right up in there somewhere. It's that cave. So we're going to head over there. We're going to check that cave. So, it looks like this cave has not reset. Which is, I mean, that's normal. That's normal. Just hoping for, I was hoping for more. I got plenty of iron right now. I'm not going to try to carry that around. So, what I'm going to do is look for the next nearest cave. And we're going to see if we can get some copper out of there. Okay, I think that's going to be like right up in here, if I remember correctly. There's also one over here. That one might be closer. Probably is. And it's a bigger cave, if I remember correctly. So we're going to go that way. Go ahead and get ready to go in the cave. Alright, so I'm going to craft up some more arrows. Max, I don't need max. Another 10. That we're ready going in here. Okay. It's right, yeah. I just want to make sure I didn't have one sitting right here in front of me. There we go. There we go. Now I feel a little safer mining some of this copper here without having somebody pop up on me. I'm definitely not going to get everything this cave has to offer this first time around here. There's going to be a lot of materials in here. I'm not short on iron at the moment. I will be. You always will be. At some point in time, iron becomes something you just need to grind out for, first for iron and then for steel. You don't want that. And coal is always something good to have around early on. But right now we're in here for copper. So let's go ahead and keep grinding away the copper. Actually, do I have the right pickaxe on? This is golden copper. This is the one I want right here. Alright, so I should have been using this pickaxe the whole time, which is, if you look at the last episode, it's one I got from I got this one as part of a mission. I should have been using this one. It gives me a bonus to harvesting copper. Is it just me, or are there more worms this time around? I feel like, I don't remember this many being in here. All right, here's a deep ore vein for gold. Going to be handy later on. Now, if there's exotics in the cave, I think there could be... I thought it'd be back in this space here. Yeah, my torch is out. So if you, depending on the water, or depending on the light source, they may go out when you get wet, and you just got to hit the button again to reignite them. I was just trying to see if there was an exotics node in here. I don't think so. I think that's where it would have been. It's right there. I'm going to go ahead and take a look. They kind of stick out like a sore thumb because they glow in the dark. There is some splash damage though, so if they hit the wall behind you, you're probably going to get poisoned from it. Looks like I'm sick too. I'm just going to go ahead and use this bacterial vaccine. And that's going to go ahead and clear up my lungs and prevent me from getting sick again. Alright, so we got a silica vein also in here. I don't know what all we're getting with Tier 5 when they release that, but it sounds like it's going to be mostly based around oil. I would love to see some automation. We've got, you know, to some degree we can do that with by just stacking things in a bench and letting it go. There's automatic miners, that kind of thing. But what I'd really like to see is, I don't know, it's like some kind of conveyor system or something like that to move materials from your deep ore vein drills to your base or directly to a machine. I'd love to see some... I'd like to be able to craft from chests in the vicinity. Like that seems to be a pretty big thing these days. It's pretty normal. So I'd really like to see that happen in here, where I could just automatically withdraw things from a chest instead of having to go find what's in each thing, or have those things on my personal inventory. There were some big storms coming up in the forecast there. You can see a Tier 3 and Tier 4 is forecast coming up here. And now those can go, I believe it's plus or minus 1 tier. So with that Tier 3, I could either get a Tier 2 or a Tier 4, or a Tier 2, Tier 3 or Tier 4. And with that Tier 4, I could get a Tier 3, Tier 4, or Tier 5. I believe that's how it works. All right, we're back from the copper mine. We're going to go ahead and get that stuff going. Throw my extra coal in there. Now, I do have some things that are going to need some repairs. I don't have bullets right now. I think I can make bullets. So I'm going to go ahead and tend to my repairs and everything, and I'll be right back. Yeah, I do think I want some ammo for my pistols. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to grab some sulfur. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what I need. I need some charcoal. I'll be able to find that down in the fireplace. Oh, I'm burning coal in here. So if you want charcoal, you're going to have to burn wood. Go ahead and put this in here. And it looks like we got a bunch of copper going on here, so we're going to pull some of that out. Again, you can just hold down your gather button while you do this. It'll make it much quicker. You don't have to just sit here. You don't have to sit there and just click, click, click. Later on, there's a talent that allows you to automatically pick up the wood, which is one I prefer to take. But if you don't mind doing it and doing it the old-fashioned way, just bouncing over and picking things up, and go ahead and save yourself a talent point. Saplings will not grow into trees. I know I've said it before, but in case you didn't watch the whole series, saplings will not grow into trees. Just take them down. They're just sticks. All right, let's pick up our nails. Finally, build our carpentry bench. These are those wooden cupboards. I think these are the ones that go on the wall. You know what? I'm just going to make one. Oh, I don't have enough rope. I don't need that much rope. All right, I'm going to queue one of those up. And Need to grab our carpentry here. We'll figure out where we're going to put it. So, plenty of options here. I don't want to block that door. Maybe I'll put it right over here. I will rearrange this whole thing to make more sense at some point. Move things around so that things are by the things they need to be by. But this will work over here. Okay, now we've gained access to all of our carved furniture. We have to see what we need for our carved wooden bed. All right, so the carved wood bed is going to be fur, leather, copper nails, and refined wood. One of the things we're going to start on is some refined wood. And I don't know if I need a third of it right now. This is times 5 too, so go ahead and do 20 of these. Let's take a look at this small wood cupboard. Now there's a bigger version of this. Well, so all right. This is going to be our row of upper kitchen cabinets. So you can do this after. You can do the bottom ones and you can do these top ones. I'm just going to go ahead and start with these. And that's pretty cool. So that's about what they hold there. It's not a ton, but it's something. Now we're back over here, and we are still making that wood. What else are we going to need? We're going to need fur and leather in here as well. Let me leather. Where am I keeping my fur? Been a long time. Anybody remember where I was keeping the fur? Here we go. Got some fur in here. And grab some of that. We also had some refined wood in here. Did I have station made at one point in time? Do I have one around here I'm just missing? I'm going to feel silly if that's the case. I have one out here stuck underneath here or something. No, I don't see it. Huh. All right, so now we can make our carved wooden bed. We're going to go ahead and craft on that. And as soon as we're done making the rest of this refined wood, we'll go on to making the bed. All right, the bed's finished. What we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and I'm going to show you that this is a 65 coziness. Gives you a duration of 19 minutes on your well-rested buff with 129% effectiveness. So let's go ahead and get rid of this and deploy the new bed. All right. 71 total coziness, 21 minutes of duration, and 143% effectiveness. So the first thing we're going to do is we set our spawn point. Always remember to do that when you put down a new bed. All right, so that storm is on us right now. And I've decided I'm tired of the darkness, so we're going to go ahead and throw some wall torches up. 3 of those for the room here. It's using up our iron, but we've got, not only is there more iron in the cave still, we've still got plenty of iron ingots here. All right, so with these with these torches, first of all, you got to be careful not to put them too close to something that's wood. So like, keep them down lower. I don't know that they'll catch the interior beams on fire anymore. I think that used to be a thing. I'm not sure if it still is. I'm not going to test it. What we're going to do is we're just going to put this like right in the middle. I do have a video where I tested how dangerous these torches are, and they do have to be pretty close to a wood ceiling or wood floor to set them on fire. All right, we're going to come in here and open this. We're going to put some fuel in here, and it'll run on any of these things here. We're going to see what we have. I've got a pile of sticks. Sure, we'll stick a pile of sticks in there, and we'll hit activate. And now we've got light over in this corner here. Go on to the next torch. All right, got some light going on in here. There we go. That's a little. I don't feel like fixing it right now. A little off center, but I don't feel like fixing it right now. Okay, now we've got some light in here. And it's hard to tell because this is we got a pretty good sized storm going on right now here, but this is it is 8 o'clock in the morning, so that's just how dark it makes it when there's a storm overhead. Okay, so I decided to put one more torch over on that on there, and now it looks nice and bright and cozy in here. We do have the ones we made previously up there. So looking pretty decent up here now. Got our candles here. We can use one more torch over in this corner here, but for now, I think we got it pretty well lit up. All right, so I think we're going to do a mission here. All right, so our next operation is going to be, we've got several available now. We talked about spelunking last episode and why we're not going to do that yet. And that has to do with, this is more going to be geared towards later on when you've got resources to burn. Right now, you don't have resources to burn. It wants you to take a whole bunch of resources and send them up. I'm not ready to be sending up our precious resources yet. It's not like you need this one to unlock anything, so we're just going to skip that for now. The next ones we could do would be Homestead. That one's available. It's a 2-skull difficulty, and it requires tier 2. Now, as a player, I've already unlocked a bunch of stuff, and that's why I've got access to things. I'm really having a hard time remembering what a new player at this level has access to. I'm just going ahead with this. So what I'm trying to decide between right now are these early on missions right here. And I want to aim towards the easier ones that fit my level. So I can do Headstone, one's this up here. I can do Livewire. I can do any of these 2 skulls, probably, without a problem. We're going to go ahead and do Livewire.
Icarus ain't always going to be so empty. The UDA wants exotics, and the Legos unit's under pressure to scale operations up. Which means they need terrain data, and a heap of it, fast. So grab the radar from the supply crate. The unit wants scans from 3 locations on your map. You'll be heading into uncharted territory, but that's exactly why we need the data. Think you can handle it? Well, either way, it's too late now. Good luck.
All right, so go ahead and you grab the scanner out of the pod, and that's going to go into your heavy equipment slot. So look at this on my back there. Now, I'm going to take a look at the map, and it's going to show us our scan location. So the first one is not that far away, right over here. We're going to go ahead and home in on that one. And what we'll need to do once we get there... I'm going to go ahead and make some gunpowder quick. All right, so we got our ammo going here. Couldn't take long. Needed 5 at a time, so 5 per gunpowder. And we got, so it gives us 90 shots. Our first scan isn't too far away. Now we're not wearing any armor, but that might be a mistake. We'll find out shortly here, right?
Well, here we are. You know what to do?
I know what to do. So, just hit G or whatever you have bound to your heavy item slot. And it should snap into place. Now, if it doesn't, it's a really frequent bug when there's an update for these scanner missions to break. And then at that point, they won't snap into place, or something else will go goofy with these scanner missions. For some reason, they can get buggy. Right now, it's obviously working. So as soon as I put this down here, it'll take over that spot. Sometimes the shadow for the spot won't even be there. Like you'll come over here and you'll know that you're right in that spot. It's up here somewhere, but there won't be an indicator to place it, and it won't let you put it down. There's just all kinds of things that can go wrong. In that case, I would suggest just heading over to Reddit and to the group and just seeing if it's a common problem that's happening to everybody at the moment. So that way you're not worried about it. Just cancel the mission and try it again a different time. All right, so once we start this up, it's going to start to scan, and we're going to have to defend it from packers. So we're going to go ahead and just fire it up.
We're reading the station. It's active.
Now, I could have built some kind of defenses here, I guess. That would have been an option. But these tend not to be too bad. These tend to be pretty easy. So you see over in the mission area, the mission information on the left there, you'll see them 22% complete. 25. Or 50%. Interesting. It looks like we're, I mean, probably too early to say, but it looks like we're not going to be attacked. Could be a bug. Oh, here we go. A freaking bear. Oh, for the love of Pete. Alright, so some bear jousting. Come on. Oh my goodness. What we got coming in now? More bear cubs. Oh, headshot that one. Alright. So this was kind of a bad place to demonstrate bear jousting, and the scanner's complete now, so we shouldn't be getting anything more. I don't know if they were hung up somewhere, and that's why it took them a while to get here. Okay, so we're going to pick this back up. So you can repair it first. I believe you can repair these. There we go. And then go ahead and pick that back up. Yeah, I wasn't expecting bear to be the thing to attack for this, but so now we know what to expect. So let's look for our next scan location. It looks like we've got one here, and we've got one here. So I did decide I'm going to do the southern mission first. Going south means the base is on the way. Then we can grab some more oxygen, and we can, but you know, we got about half a tank or whatever, but doing a long run right now would leave us out. Yeah, got some lightning going on, causing some fires here in the woods. The base just took a hit. Take a lot of lightning hits before you actually destroy a base piece. All right, so I've decided. I am gonna go ahead and take the armor. I'm gonna armor up. If I'm gonna be attacked by bears, I guess I just prefer a little bit of bear protection. We're gonna grab that, and now when we come into the textiles bench, we see that we have the option for doing all this stuff here, and we can go ahead and start with the chest piece, I guess. Equip that. What else we can do for pieces here? The hood. Gloves. And go ahead and put those on. So, yeah, we're making progress on some armor here. Not great armor. You can see the like the chest piece there. Physical resistance, cold resistance, heat resistance, and exposure resistance. There is a set bonus. It can give you health regeneration, stamina regeneration. And what do we need for getting those other two pieces I'm missing here? Just more leather. We can go grab some of that. All right, we can do the last piece. And we're going to put those on. Now we've got the set bonus, which is going to give us health and stamina regeneration. All right, we're going to go ahead and sleep. And it is morning, just like that. Let's go ahead and head down here for our next scan. I'll see you when we get there.
This is precise as the data gets. See what you can find.
All right, we've arrived at the second scan location. Go ahead and that down. And before we go ahead and get this going, now we know we're not going to be attacked from these sides here because it's a cliff and a mountain. And I don't think they're going to spawn from that up there. I don't think there's enough room. Maybe there's enough room for them to spawn from that area there. But more than likely, they're all going to be coming in from that direction right there. Bears can get up on rocks, so if it's a bear again, we're just gonna have to be ready to joust him. And hopefully all goes well. Let's just get into it. Let's just fire this up.
Looks like the unit's ready.
I'm gonna get up here and see if I can get a good view when something starts coming at me here. All right, we got incoming. It's a pig. Take that any day. See a horse down there. I think it's part of this assault. And see, he's not aggro or heading this direction. Yeah. He's gonna come up and eat. He's gonna come to eat the pig. So far, so good. I don't want that horse eating my pig anyway. I'm thinking bacon right now. Like we've got a jaguar. That's ooh. That's interesting. Hold still. Thank you. Getting him into the rocks at least helps. Getting him, he's having trouble pathing to me. There we go. And the pig. And we're 100% complete, so that should be the end of it. Go ahead and not miss our opportunity. Get one of these guys out, and hopefully I can get back out of here afterwards. All right. New bestiary entry unlocked. Oh, good. We can get back. Oh, we can get back up over here. Definitely have to stop at base and unload, and we're going to dry as much meat as we can. We can't dry bacon, I don't believe, unless something's changed. I'm not carrying back all this bone. So I think we're just going to cook up the bacon. Take it with us right away. All right, we're going to go ahead and pick up the radar. We're going to cook up that bacon real quick, and then we can take it with us as a food source along the way. And apparently I leveled up at some point. Now what? Maybe you guys spot it. I didn't. Was it during that last scan? I suppose it's possible. I did level up to 19, so we're getting there. We're heading towards that level 20. All right, here we are back at base. Now let's go ahead. You know what? Let me get a check. I'm going to look in here. We'll take a look. There we go. 6 fish, ready to go. All right, so we're going to come up here to the stove. Go ahead and start cooking up some bacon. Now we're going to head down to the drying rack. And I believe everything here is people making dried feed. I do giant steak. Yep, dried giant steak. I did pick up some oxite on the run. Go ahead and toss that in there. And we're going to swap out our air tank. We do have another full air tank in here, so that's good. So on to the final location, which is way up here. We're going to make our way all the way up here, around here, in order to this section here, for that last scan. We'll see when we get there. Alright, so I just had to pop into a cave that I found along the way, and lo and behold, I do see some exotics coming up here. We're going to be able to send this up and get some money, and that means buying some stuff from the station, which is going to be great. Now, quick note, if you've got a food buff that you don't want, so like this is actually a pretty minor food buff, and I'm going to eat some meat instead. What you can do is you can just right click on that, and it'll get rid of it. And then you can come up and consume whatever it is you want to consume instead. You see it back there? It's my buddy Mudge. He is a rescue greyhound, and he's a very good boy. Yeah, he is. He's a good boy. Yeah. Yeah. You gonna come lay down in here by me? Huh? Good boy. All right. Go ahead and lay down. Or put your head in my lap. Whatever you want to do. Yeah. Yeah, head in lap. All right. Yeah, it's a little awkward. Trying to play with a dog in your lap, but within, 70-pound dog in your lap. All right. Where am I? All right, we're going to go this way. There's the spot.
Data says this is the area. Now it's up
All right, so we're going to look around. And again, cliff to our back. So likely coming from that direction there. And so we might be able to just pull the same kind of thing. Although this is a much straighter shot for something to run up this and not get hung up or stuck on things. So we're just going to have to see how it goes. You can see that's Mudgy's little bed right there, so he can be by me when I'm gaming. He does not like to be away from me for very long. The sun is fading. Do we do this anyway? Let's just do it anyway.
There you go.
About as good a vantage points we're going to get. But thankfully, when they're charging at you, they get so excited that they see their little exclamation points before they even see you. So they haven't targeted you or anything. Looks like it's going to be wolves, wolves, wolves. That guy's stuck down there, it looks like. There he goes. Obviously, there's going to be some kind of boss mob to this, too, so we have to see what happens here. Wound me. Cool. Little nick. That guy down there is whatever. He's not going to get to me, so I'm not going to worry about him at the moment. Didn't take a wound from any of those, so that's good. Plenty of time to get wounded yet still, though, right? There we go. Oh, gun broke. Alright, well that's fine. The only thing we have left is... Oh, a bunch of them down there, huh? And it looks like they actually just lost interest once the scan was complete, so that's pretty cool. Got another guy here. And there's our level 20, which is what we were looking for from this whole thing. That's great. And now we have new tier unlocked, the machining bench. Do we need to collect this? I guess they do want us to collect it.
Well, you're done here. You did a lot more than just survive.
All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and head back, and we'll see you all back at base. I just came across another cave with some exotics in it. And I was fighting cave worms and ran out of arrows. So, as you do. I know there's going to be another one of these guys up here. All right. More exotics. I think for quality of life, I'm looking at a suit next, if I can. See what we got, what we can afford. All right, here we are back home. Completed a mission, got back home. First thing we're going to do is we're going to dive into bed and reset the day. All right, daytime. Back at it. I'm going to go ahead and call down a orbital exchange pod. I'm going to go ahead and send up these exotics. It's 78 exotics to the station. That's great. For this point in the game. Later on, it's not that big a deal. All right, so we've accomplished a lot today, and the last thing I want to do is I want to look at this orbital exchange board and see what... Nope, I did not want to request a pod. I wanted to request equipment. So this is all the equipment that belongs to my... Pretty much all of this belongs to my other character. So we're going to go ahead and... I mean, we had one backpack that we sent down. I don't actually know where that is. The character has a backpack. It's here somewhere, because I've seen it on the when I log in, so... we're going to see what's available to purchase in the workshop and what we could unlock with him. So he hasn't unlocked any suits. So he would have to unlock the first suit. And we're going to look at what would that cost. So it would cost 75 exotics to unlock this suit. And this will give you a module slot and an oxygen slot. And you at least need to unlock this. So the 50 Ren, get past it. And then you have access to this one, this one has an oxygen slot, food slot, and water slot, plus 5 physical resistance. And this is a great quality of life one because you can put your stacks of food and water and oxygen in there and not have to worry about it for quite a long time. And this one also has, well, this one has oxygen and water, but no food slot, but it does have a module slot. So to get to here is 150 plus just the research cost of this if I'm not going to buy it. So that's 200. We need 200 exotics for that. And we just sent up... We'll look back and see what it was. I didn't write it down right away. I'm going to have to look back at the video. But I know I had 15 Ren, so I'm going to go ahead and sell exotics enough to pay for the 200 that I need to get my suit. To get my suit, I need... 40 exotics sold off. Go ahead and sell off 40 exotics. That unlocked this, and it's going to allow me to craft this. I know I didn't actually have to unlock them because they were already unlocked, but you got to kind of bear with me here. That math should work out. Now I have this suit, and I just got to look back and see how many exotics I actually sent up. And then I'm going to use that to determine how many I have left. So let's go ahead and go to our loadout, and this is our new environment suit. We're going to go ahead and put that into the drop ship. Now, you used to have to go to the station. Oh, the other one's got to take offers. You used to have to go to the station in order to change your suit. You no longer have to do that. That's a huge improvement, in my opinion. Coming down the other side. All right, so we're going to grab our suit. We're just going to go into our inventory, and all you have to do is just drag it onto your inventory slot, and you'll see it kicked off the regular suit right here. So now we've got a food slot and a water slot. Let's go ahead and you want something food-wise, you want something that's going to just last a long time and kind of do its best. For now, that's jerky, and later on I will generally put pickles in here. So pickled fish is a big one because I showed you how easy it is to get fish fillets. Pickled fish is a real simple recipe once you've got jars, and you just they don't spoil at all. Like, they last forever. So you just make pickles and stick a stack of pickles into your food slot. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my canteen up here, and he's going to automatically drink out of that. Hi. Can I help you with anything? All right. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it here. So I've got a lot to edit. I've got a lot of video to put together here, and I hope it's going to be an episode that you really enjoy. Let me know in the comments below if I did a good job for you. And until next time, have a great day. Really mean it. Have a great day. And you out.